this morning 60 minutes flow. We'll do work on our hips, and by now you know that hips can mean anything from hip flexor to groins or whatever. But what we'll actually do is we'll work more with the opening, the external rotation of the joint between thighs and hips. And energetically we'll work with the part of the pelvic floor. So we'll focus heavily on this element also that's very much associated with water and the fluidity that we internalize as physical human beings, but also I think very much as women. So you can come either two options today. To start off, you can bring the soles of the feet together like so in front of you, and you can just hug the toes and curl forward. You can really let the lower back get long and round here, or you can come lying down in the same position, so you can bring your body down to the mat. I offer this because we'll go there after anyway, so you choose. Good. And I just ask you to take a few deep belly breaths in whichever pose you are to arrive this yogic breathing of actually expanding the inhalation down into the belly. Very often we don't do this, especially in situations of stress. We reduce the breathing to only our chest breathing. So see that you can now let the breath get really long and heavy to expand into your belly, and from there also start to really expand downwards, so into this pelvic area with the inhale. On the exhale, let the whole pelvic bowl get really heavy and sink you into the ground. Today we want to combine the aspect of softening while strengthening where we need to maintain the intensity of our life. There is the only way to do this, to soften when you can and where you can, to up intensity of sensation where you need and where it's required. So it's the magical exploration of combining the yin and yang aspects, the male and female, the speed and slowing down. Just before, a girl that was meant to join us today cancelled because she's not feeling well, and it made me think of the fact that she works very hard and that there's very little time in her life to repose. At least that's how far I understand it, or my interpretation is. And that we're very deserving of this repose, and that it is part of the liquidity and the fluid state that we are in, that we need to bring stillness into this ever ongoing stream of actions and happenings in our life. So bring your attention to what lies beneath your skin, this layer of encapsulating us, because what's behind is 90% fluids. So we're made to a large degree out of water. And you can think of the pelvic floor as the bowl that gathers a lot of this water. So for now, you can, if you're seated, come to sit upright. Bring the knees together. And just unwind down towards the mat so your knees are bent, feet are grounded on the floor. Good. For a moment, stretch yourself long, blink the eyes open to bring some expansion into the body. You can even lift the feet off the mat to stretch out the legs, to then come back into this bent knee position. Bring the hands on your hip bones and just sort of 2 centimeters inside with the index and middle finger if you want. Because we'll now do some pelvic tilts. So as you're lying here neutrally, your spine does a little curve away from the mat. I think we've done some of this before, so I'll go through it quick. But now imagine your pelvic bowl filled with water and you want to tip it backwards. So the water spills out towards the back, meaning you're pulling your pubic bone towards your navel, flattening the spine towards the mat. And you feel how your core is working and engaging. So if you still have your hands here, your fingers, you'll feel it getting hard and tense. Good. And with the inhale, release and tip the bowl the other way. So let it flow forward, pulling the tailbone up towards your neck and arching the spine away from the floor. Exhale to curl down again, so tilting the pelvis. Inhale to tilt it forward. Do 5 more of these in your own breath. You can move very slowly, but see that you can increase the range of motion of this tilting forth and back. Good. And close your eyes to really become aware of this liquid state that your whole body is in, and let the motion come from this inner rippling of fluidity through your body and letting the limbs and the external motion follow. Good. And then find the middle ground between those 2 extremes of your pelvic bowl tilting. So either fully flat or fully arching away, find the middle ground. A gentle engagement of your core, and then bring one leg and then the second leg away from the mat. Knees are still bent. Good. And now your core really has to work. Bring the chin a bit closer to the chest, maybe to flatten also the back of the head down. And then tip your right foot down to the mat to only touch the big toe to the mat. Bring it back up with the inhale, left leg. This is much more Pilates than yoga, I'm aware, but it's a really nice way to start to feel into what in yoga we call the Mula Bandha. So this sensation of pulling upward from your pelvic floor. So drawing the energy, keep going with your feet tapping down, from the pelvic floor upward through the central channel, from a physical but also energetical point of view. Good. Very nice. If you want to do a few more that are more harder, you can lengthen out the legs as you tip them down and bring them back in bent. So straighten the knee, tip down the heel, and bend the knee to bring it back in. It's a lot bigger head lever, makes it a bit harder. Nice. And then you can bring both feet back down to the mat. Exhale again to bring the pelvic floor to tilt backwards, flattening the spine entirely to the mat. And then just continue this motion to curl the spine away from the mat, coming up into a bridge pose. Good. Lift high, high, high. Exhale to sink almost all the way down, just hovering above the mat. Not halfway, actually almost all the way. Inhale to lift back up. And this time when you get up, open the legs out, right and left. Inhale, bring them back in, sink it back down. Exhale, lift and open. Your glutes have to work, your groins have to work. 5 more. And bring the attention again to this Mula Bandha, what in yoga is translated to the root lock. So the idea that we lock the root of our energetic channel, if you will, drawing the energy from there upwards. So don't let it drain out the bottom. Good. Last 2, I think, I didn't count. Open. And then come down to the mat. Bring the knees in towards the forehead. Bring the forehead towards the knees to really make yourself round. And from here, rock yourself forth and back to come up to a seated position. Good. When you're up here, swing your right leg back. So you're coming into this deer shape, what we call in yin. So it doesn't have to be fully out to the side, it's very hard on your groin, so just bring it in an angle that's kind of comfortable still. Sinking both your seat bones down, so bring the right sit bone back down so your upper body is upright. Arms come high, exhale, right hand comes outside the right shin to open into the left side body. Good, bring both seat bones down, lift with the inhale. Exhale to twist the ribs underneath. Good. Inhale into the middle, left side, left hand comes down, right one arches over. And now you can really use the left hand to shift the right sit bone down. So you can push into this left hand to open even more into the left side body and the right. So lifting yourself away from the floor, arching. Let the Mula Bandha work all this time. So this sensation of pulling upward, like when you have to go to the toilet and you can't, is always how people describe it. So it's this sensation of lifting the pelvic floor. Inhale, come back into the middle. Good. And then bring the hands kind of behind you for support, or they can be hovering. We're swinging both legs forward and changing sides. So, like so. Yes, I know it's also kind of fun, right? Second side, bring the left sit bone down. Good, both arms up, left hand comes down to open right side body. Good. Reach into the fingertips and let the movement come from within and let it ripple through this liquidity, this liquid that holds all your cells, all your muscles, all the connective tissue in one primordial ocean. Inhale, lift, exhale, right hand down, left hand reaches. And again, you can use the right hand here to really push and lift the right side higher to create this beautiful arch here instead of collapsing down. Okay. And release. Good. Bring the left foot forward and grab the foot here to wiggle this leg closer to your chest. It doesn't have to get there immediately, so you can start to rock it gently forth and back. Maybe start to bring it closer. Good. Maybe this foot lands in your elbow crease, maybe it doesn't. I'll take the moment to take off my socks. And then the other one. Good. And then change sides, bring this foot down gently, bring the left one in. Give it time to unfold. So this whole idea of softening into where you can soften while strengthening where the strength needs to go. Take this as the exploration here. So give it time to soften while your spine can grow long and tall. Good. And then bring it down. Good. Curl the hands forward to come into your own force. Nice. And find back into this pelvic tilt. So from the Mula Bandha, see that you can rock the pelvis forth and back, same as we've done before on the floor. Inhale to lift arch the lower back gently. Exhale to pull the pubic bone in. So it's a bit smaller than the traditional cat and cows that we do. It's a much smaller movement. Digging the fingertips into the mat, creating space here across the collarbones, while you just gently tilt the pelvic floor forth and back. Good. Nice, and then let the movement get bigger to come into a full cat and cow. With every time you tilt the pelvis, let the movement ripple through your entire spine. And you can see how these pelvic tilts are part of our cat and cow. So the pubic bone pulling into the navel, tailbone going the opposite way towards the sky, towards your head. Beautiful. And last time, ending up in a cow pose. So arching the back generously. Draw yourself forward, bring the chest and the chin to the mat for Ashtanga Namaskar. Exhale, hips come down, chest into a baby cobra, meaning only the chest is lifting away, not with the strength of the hands. And then push back into a cat pose. Inhale, cow. And tuck the toes, push back, downward facing dog. Good. Very nice. Let's do this once more. Bring the knees down to the mat. Cow pose, look forward, chest and chin come down. Inhale, hips slide forward, chest comes up. Baby cobra, or you can come more into a cobra if you feel you're there already. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, tuck the toes, arch the back, lift back into a downward dog. Beautiful. Arrive here in your downward dog. Taking a moment to paddle out your feet or do whatever you need. If you need more spinal undulations, you can keep the rippling going into your spine and curling and coiling your way into a more elastic spine. Good. Look forward between the hands. Bend the knees so the thighs, the knees draw into the chest while you keep the hips high. And look forward to step or hop to land in an Uttanasana forward fold. Nice. Inhale for Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Lift the arms over the head. Moving again from the Mula Bandha, even though you're reaching into the limbs, see that this sensation can come rippling through from the bottom of your spine, from the pelvic floor. Good. Exhale, sit the hips down, sink into the knees for chair pose. Good. And from chair pose, we're coming up to standing, and bring your right leg, your right knee with you. Hug it in. Good. Now let go of this knee and bring the left hand surely to the hips, maybe the right one also, to draw circles here with your right leg. Let them become as big as you can, so exploring especially the range of motion, that backwards, change sides. For balance, see whether you can soften the gaze instead of focusing on an outward point of attention. Soften the gaze and bring the sensation of awareness inside. Good. And then with the next circle, bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. Figure 4 here, so outward sensation of this thigh here. Sit down, arms come high for figure 4 chair pose. Good. Lower belly drawing in, lift from this pelvic floor. So it's this upward movement again. Exhale to fold, bringing the hands towards the floor. Keep the left leg gently bent if you need to, so your chest can come towards the right shin. Good. Inhale to come back up into our seated or our figure 4 chair. Release the right foot and step it back into a high lunge. Good. High high lunge here, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, bring the right heel down, open up into a warrior two. Nice. Bring the hands behind the head to open here into your shoulder girdle or into the space of your collarbones. And then sideward dip, bring the left elbow to the left knee to crunch. Inhale, come back up. Exhale to dip. 5 of those in total. See that you're really moving from the side so that your right shoulder doesn't twist forward, but it's a movement that comes from your side body here. 2. Nice. And 1. Release the arms, let them get long, let the front leg get long, and reach forward. Right hip comes back to bring the left hand down towards the shin. Good. Tucking again the pelvic or the pelvic bone towards your navel to flatten the lower back. Exhale, bend the front knee and bring both hands inside the front foot. Lizard pose. Option to bring the right knee down or to keep it floating. Option to stay on the hands or come onto the forearms. Good. For now, keep the left knee drawing inwards towards your left shoulder. So it wants to come in, don't let it fall out. This will come later. Right knee can be on the floor. Good. And then come back onto the hands. Step that left foot back to come into a high plank. Beautiful. Send the weight forward, either via your knees or as Chaturanga, come down all the way to the floor. Good. Slide the hands forward, come into Sphinx pose. Good. And then slide the hands back past the chest, lift up into a upward facing dog. Option for cobra, of course, so keeping the hips down and push back downward facing dog. Good. Look forward between the hands, bend the knees. On the exhale, step or hop. To land without a sound, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale for Ardha Uttanasana, half forward lift. Good. And then sink the hips down, coming into a chair pose. We're coming into the second side. From chair pose, come up, bring the left foot, left knee with you. Good. Bring it, no, sorry, circles first. So 3 circles coming backwards. Let it unfold. Let those hips open and then changing sides. Good, and then with the next circle, bring that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Sit down, figure 4 squat. Good. Drawing the belly in, Mula Bandha is working, lifting you from here through the entire upper body. Exhale to fold forward, hands come towards the floor, bend the right knee so you can actually fold, meaning you're not curling, coiling your back. You're keeping the lower back long. Inhale to come back into figure 4 squat. Then release the left foot and send it back into our high lunge. Good, take a moment here to arrive, sink the hips down, moving from the Mula Bandha upward. Nice, exhale to open up into warrior 2. Good, hands behind the head for 5 crunches. Right elbow to the right knee. Keep the bend in the front leg. Good. Nice. 3, 4, and 5. Nice. then releasing the hands, lengthening the front leg, right hand comes forward, bring it down to the shin. Good. Trikonasana. Digging into the outside edge of the left foot. The left foot is sort of in a 45-degree angle to the front foot. Nice. Exhale, bend the front knee. Bring both hands inside the front foot, lizard. Again, same variation you've done before, ideally. So if you had the knee floating, keep it floating. If you had it down, bring it down. Coming onto forearms or not. Nice. Good. Nice, and then bring the hands back in. Lift the back knee off, and instead of stepping to the plank, see that you can move forward through the middle line of your body to bring the left foot to join outside the left hand, sink down, Malasana Yogi squat. Good, lift, push into the hands and from the hands into the elbows to create a lift here. Ground your feet firmly so you can actually let go of the elbows and bring the hands over your head. This is much harder than it looks. Yes. Keep the knees pointing outward, drawing outward. Good, and exhale, bring the hands back down. Option, of course, here to take crane or crow pose in the transition if you want, or you want to play around. And from here, step back, high plank. Good stuff, Daniela. Yes, amazing. And again, either over the knees or with a straight body, come all the way down. Slide the hands forward for Sphinx. Good, bend both knees to bring the feet towards the head. Good. Lift the right thigh away from the mat to have it hover. And bring it down. Bring the left thigh away from the mat to have it hover. Yes. Keep the draw forward, the chest through the arms. Once more each leg, right leg lifts. Left leg lifts. Good. And then bring the hands, the feet back down, chest down, and hands come past the chest so you can push up into your upward dog. Option, of course, for cobra as well. Push back, hips high, downward facing dog. Good. Okay, let's flow through this again. We'll add a few poses and we'll get a bit faster. Look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees. Step or hop to land without a sound. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale for Ardha Uttanasana, bring the hands over the head, reach long. Exhale, sink down into a chair pose. Inhale, come up, bring the right knee with you. We're skipping the circles, but we're going straight into our figure four squat. Good. Now bring the hands to the chest and twist towards your left side, so towards where your foot is pointing. Good. And see if you can fold and bring the right elbow into the right foot. Yes. This is prep for a really funny arm balance. If we have it in person again together, let's practice this. But for now, this is enough. Inhale to lift back out. Exhale to release the hands and fold forward. Inhale, come back up and send the right foot back into a high lunge. Come up high. Exhale, warrior two. Good. Hands behind the head and 5 crunches. 1, 2, 3. Move from the Mula Bandha, so this center of fluid energy here. that ripples out through every motion that you do. Good. And inhale. Release the hands, come long, coming into our Trikonasana. Good. Look forward, plant the hand in front of the left foot, stepping the right foot closer so you can take off into Ardha Chandrasana. In Ardha, you can bend the right knee, optional, to grab the right foot with your right. Yes. Ardha Chandrasana. Block underneath your left hand, of course, if you have it and need it. Kick the foot into the hand, send the chest forward. Nice. And release the hand. Good. Release the foot. And then release the left hand, twisting into Warrior 3. Balance here, hands at your heart or out to the side. Good, and then step the right foot back. Bring both hands inside the front foot. And this time do bring the right foot, the right knee down. Good. I'll twist a bit so you see this better. Let the left foot, A, wander out to the edge of the mat, and B, let it fall open. So bring it on the outside edge of the foot here, so it can fall out to the side. Good. Shift the weight into the right hand, left hand comes to the left thigh, open up here, twisting over the left shoulder. Good. Right foot is long, flat on the mat. And then release, bring both hands back inside and twist onto the outside edges of right and left foot. So you're twisting your body towards the left. I'll show you this side. So you're on the outside edges of each foot. Right arm comes high over the head into this side lunge variation. Now option, if you're feeling super solar after the full moon, you can let go of the right foot and hover back into a full side plank. Yes. Move from the Mula Bandha. Good job, girls. Amazing. And then bring the right foot back where you found it. Step it back forward. Very nice. And come down with the right hand. Good. Step back, high plank. Flow through your vinyasa. This time you can come straight into an upward dog if you like, skipping the Sphinx pose, or straight into Cobra. Push back, downward dog. Good. Nice. Look forward, bend the knees. On the exhale, step or hop to land between the hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Let it drop off. So this is the end of the cycle. Let it finish here. Let it energetically come to an end before you restart with an inhale for Ardha Uttanasana. Hands over the head, reach forward. Lower belly drawing in. So this is really where you feel Mula Bandha working, radiating up and through the liquidity inside you. Exhale, bend the knees. Good. And inhale, come up standing, left foot comes right with you. Hug it in for a moment and then bring it over your right thigh. Arms high, sit down. Good. Exhale, hands to the chest and twist. First twisting and then fold. See if you can bring this left arm outside the right foot, the left foot. Yeah, if you look anywhere else, it's gonna get really hard. Push into the hands, so twist deeper. Bend the knee generously so you can balance. Good stuff. And release. Come back up into the squat and exhale, fold. Let the left toes here hug your right triceps. It's a prep for another funny arm balance. Inhale to come up into chair pose. And step the left foot floated back into a high lunge. Sink the hips, preparing for warrior two. Good. Hands behind the head. Lift and 5 times. Crunches. Good. 3, 4, 5. And fluidly transition into Trikonasana. So get long, let the right leg get long. Hips shift, right arm reaches and comes down. Good. See that you can pull your right hip under. So the right buttock wants to move underneath. Left hip pulls back. So become one line, one flat surface in the back body. Look forward, bend the right knee. Step the right hand in front of the right foot. Left foot comes a bit closer so you can take off into Ardha Chandrasana. Good. Float here. And then bend the left leg to grab a hold of the left foot. Kick the foot into the hands. So your body can really arch here. Kick the foot, kick the foot. Nice. And then let go of the foot and twist yourself into warrior three. I know it's really hard for balance. You can bend to standing leg gently to make balance easier. Lift the back leg strong. And then let it flow back into a high lunge. Bring both hands into the inside of the front foot. Nice. And left knee comes down. Soften into this pose here. So walk the foot over to the outside edge. Let it drop open. So this is the moment where it all can fall off you. Where you can sink into the being of this pose. Good. You really want this groin here on the right side to draw outward, look over the right shoulder. You can push into this right inside of the thigh. Nice. And come back forward, both hands inside. Twist onto the outside edges of the feet. Good. Right arm comes high, lifting the hips with the arm over the head. Good. Yeah, it's like a pivoting, Nicole. Yeah, I think you're doing it right. I can't see. Yes. Good. And then you can let go of the right foot and step it back into this high plank. Your left fingertips are really gripping into the mat now. This is Hasta Bandha working here. Nice. And then step the right foot back where you found it. Bring both hands inside the front foot. And with this forward motion, spilling the liquid forward, bring the left foot to join the left hand. Sink down into your Malasana Yogi squat. Nice. Good, and then bring the arms over the head, lifting high. Let the knees draw outward. There's a direct connection between your feet, your ankles, your knees, and your hips. So if one of those is suffering, check the others. Nice. And then bring the hands back inside. Bring the fingertips onto the floor. And lift onto the tippy toes here. Good. And then from there, come up to standing, slow motion, lifting. This is a beautiful lift from the pelvic floor. Onto the tippy toes. Nice. And exhale, come back down like a ballerina. Draw out with the knees. A lot of space on the inside of your thighs. Hands come down. And then you can slowly maneuver your body onto the mat. Good. Nice. Bring the hands underneath the thighs here. Lift into the chest, you know what's coming. Move from the pelvic floor as you lift one leg, then the other into Malasana, into Navasana, boat pose. Good. Arms get long. Nice. And then lengthen one leg out, bring it towards the floor and back in. Opposite leg is lengthening. Keep lifting from the Mula Bandha. Mula Bandha is super important right now here because it keeps you floating, keeps you balancing, all the while lifting into the sternum, letting your lower back get long. If you want to make it harder, keep both legs long. Good. For another 3, 2, nice, and 1. And draw the knees towards your forehead. Good. Bring the left foot down, either full all the way or just with the big toe. Lengthen the right leg out. Grab a hold of the right back of the thigh or the right calf to walk yourself up into an upright position here. Yes, you can hold on here and just keep pulling your chest towards your leg. It might be easier if you bring the full left foot down. Nice. And then let go of this leg and let it just flow down. So soften it to the floor, slow motion. Good. Bring this left leg in. Nice. And then lift the arms high and exhale to fold towards the right foot. This left leg can fall open a bit, so you have the space here to fold forward. Good. Keep a bend in the right leg so you don't end up reaching for the foot and rounding your back. You want the chest to meet your knee, ideally, and if you need to bring the knee closer, that's fine. Option here for a bind. So if you want, you can bring the left arm out to the side and wrap it behind the left thigh. And let the right arm follow, reach behind your back. Yes, so you want to really use this elongation, the twist back of the palm to prepare the shoulder joint. And fold from here. Keep the right foot flexed, softening into this very knotted position. And observe how your mind is very against taking this position and staying here. So it will magnify any discomfort that you're feeling as you're trying to rest in the stillness. And fight your mind to find a moment of pure awareness, just being here. And then gently release. Come back out, release the bind. It feels so nice when you come out of these things. And bring both feet parallel, knees bent. Hands can come behind you and let the legs windshield wiper here. Good. And then the second side. So lift again your chest high. Right foot is either all the way on the mat or just the big toe. Lift the left leg long. Good. Use the momentum here, or the pull, so you can lift the chest towards the thigh, the leg, and walk yourself up. So it's a lot of hamstring action, a lot of calf elongation. Get to where you are. So if it doesn't look like this, it might look like this, but that's fine. Just keep your chest lifting towards the leg. Good. Lift, lift, lift. And then let go of the leg, hover it there, and slow motion, soften it down to the floor. Good. Bring the right foot in a bit closer. Left foot is flexed. Inhale to lift. And exhale to fold forward. Letting your chest, your lower ribs meet your knee, your thigh. Good. Nice. Option for the bind, of course, so reach your right arm wide and flip the right palm back to reach around the right thigh. Left hand does the same, so reach it out first, twisting the palm back to meet maybe the other hand. Always helpful here is a strap or a sock. If your hands don't meet fully, you can use the sock to connect and drop into this fluidity within you. So even though we find stillness in a pose, in a seat, within us it's never fully still. So this oscillation of your own liquidity is never ending. And it takes the smallest vibrations and carries it through from your center out into all limbs, into what expresses as motion. Good. One more breath here. And then let go of the bind. Nice. And bring both feet out in front of you. Windshield wiper the legs. Good. Very nice. And cross the shins in front of you, bring the hands down. And step back into your downward facing dog. Nice. Look forward between the hands. Step or hop to meet in the forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, bring the right knee in towards the chest. Flowing again through this with a slight variation. Bring the right foot on top of the left thigh. We don't do the twist now. Fold forward. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, step the right foot back, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen. Left hand comes down, Trikonasana. And now watch out. Inhale back into your high lunge. Twist onto the right heels, right toes. Exhale, right hand comes to the right shin or right foot. And lengthen the left foot, left shin, and lengthen the left leg out for twisted Trikonasana. You can stay on the heels on the toes of the right foot. Nice. And then windmill yourself open, coming into the start pose here. Into all 5 limbs, all 6 limbs here, foot and tail, hands and feet. Exhale, twist to the back of the mat. Take your low high lunge here. So the right knee is bent, you're looking to the edge, the right back edge of your mat. And inhale, open for warrior two. Inhale, lengthen, right hand reaches forward towards the right shin. Nice. Yeah, you're looking towards the back of the mat now, exactly. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, left hand to the right shin or right foot, lengthen the right leg out. Twisted Trikonasana or Parivrita, revolve to Trikonasana. Inhale to spill open, expand into this big shape. Starfish pose here. Exhale, high lunge on the front side. Let's go once more. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, lengthen, reach left hand down for Trikonasana. Repetition makes it become really meditative. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, right hand comes down, left reaches up, left leg gets long, twisted, Trikonasana. Twist towards the left side. Inhale, open up, spilling open. And twist to the back end of the mat, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. And lengthen, sink, spill forward into your Trikonasana. Right leg is long. Right hand on the shin, good. Inhale, bend the front knee, the right knee, and arms lift high, high lunge. Exhale, left hand to the right shin or right foot, lengthen the right leg, foot twisted, Trikonasana. Good. And inhale, open up. Exhale, frame the front foot. Both hands right and left of the left foot. You're facing towards the front again. And step back, high plank. Nice. Flow through your vinyasa. You can go straight to downward dog if you had enough. Knees down or all the way down. Inhale for cobra or upward dog. Exhale, push back, downward dog. Nice. Last side, look forward. Bend the knees and step or hop to land in Uttanasana, forward fold. Nice. Inhale, bend the knees. Sorry, Ardha Uttanasana first. I think we skipped this. Hands over the head. Exhale, bend the knees. Chair pose. Inhale, bring the left knee up with you and bring it across the right leg. Sit down. Figure four, chair pose. Nice. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale, step the left foot back. High lunge. Nice. Open up, warrior two. Right hand forward, left arm back. Inhale, lengthen the front leg. Right arm reaches forward, comes down towards the right shin. Trikonasana. Nice. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, left hand to the right shin or right foot. Lengthen the right leg. Or a block, of course. Nice, and open up, start pose. Let it shine into head and tail, arms and legs. Inhale, left leg bends, high lunge onto the back side. Mula Bandha is working, and high warrior two. Inhale, lengthen, sink, float into your triko. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up, lengthen the left leg. Twisted Trikonasana. And open up, spill open. Last round, I promise. Come forward, high lunge, right leg is bent. You're looking to the front side of the mat. Open up, warrior two. Inhale, Trikonasana. Next inhale brings you up, high lunge. Exhale, twist, left hand, right shin. Right leg gets long. And then spill open. Expand before we contract again. Left leg bends, high lunge. Warrior two. Transitioning you into Trikonasana on the back side of the mat. Inhale, high lunge, twist onto the right heels, right toes, right hand, left foot, lengthen the left leg. Good stuff. And then last time, spill open. Bend the right knee, frame the front foot, and step back, high plank. Amazing stuff, guys. Come up to the knees and sit down onto the heels. Good. Bring the right arm high and bend it so you're reaching for the right shoulder blade. Left arm reaches out and around. See if your fingers can meet behind the back. And then from there, fold forward into child's pose, letting the forehead come down. If your fingers don't meet, that's fine. Just keep the hands towards each other, or you can bring the left hand to the right elbow to draw it in. Good. Let it all drop off. Coming back into very deep, expanding belly breaths. Becoming aware of this interstitial fluid that holds all the bits and pieces that makes up your physical self. Inhale to lift out, come up to seated, release the bind. Shake it off. Nice. Second side, left arm comes high. First reach and then bend to reach for the left shoulder blade with the fingertips. Same variation you've taken before, so if you want to hold the elbow, you can hold the elbow, otherwise right hand comes out. Flip the palm back so the shoulder actually gets this external rotation, and then reach back. Maybe meeting your fingers, maybe almost, maybe a soccer strap, and then fold forward. Nice. Come back out, sitting back up. Release the bind. Shake it off. And then swing the legs forward. Good. Bend the knees, hold on to the space just below your knees. Inhale to lift. Exhale to curl round. Lean into the arms, let them get long, your gaze coming in. And again, let this pelvis bowl full of your primordial liquid spill backwards. Let it spill along your spine up into your brainstem, leaving the knees and unrolling the spine down. Good. Nice. Bring both knees up again like we started. Maybe shifting the hips over to the left side for a moment and then drop the knees out towards the right. The shifting of the hips, so when you drop the knees, your upper body is still in this one vertical line. Nice. Left arm can come into this cactus shape. If you like, send the gaze over to the left for a full spinal twist. Otherwise, keep it in the lower back. And release, come back into the middle, shifting the hips out towards the right side, both knees in a right angle, and then drop them out to the left side. And drop them out, not leading from your frontal lobe, your brain, your mind, telling your knees to now fold. But the more we practice these somatic approaches to movement, see if the movement can come from within. There's this interplay between the cells, between this connective tissue and connective liquid that will carry an emotion from the inside out. And it feels so different. It's this embodiment in practice, and sometimes the things I say might sound super strange, and eventually maybe they start to make sense, or some of it makes sense to you, maybe some of it resonates. Bring your attention back into his pelvic bowl, into the outward radiation of this energy from the Mula Bandha that runs up your spine, down into your limbs. And come back into the middle. Again, see if you can move from this center point in your pelvic floor. Any last pose you want to take right now is welcome. Or if you want to just let it spill out into Shavasana, that's perfectly fine. Let the limbs get long and let the liquid run out into the toes and feet. And see if you can follow the ripples that, like a stone thrown into the water, until there is stillness back into the surface of this pond. Let yourself unfold into this heaviest of poses. Nice. And if you want to stay longer in this Shavasana, you can. Otherwise, let the motion ripple again through your tissue, through into limbs, and come up into seated position. If you're seated, you can bring both hands onto the lower belly, like the space below your navel. Come back into a few breaths of this yogic breathing. So letting the air expand your belly to start the day super centered. And then bring your hands to your heart. In Anjali Mudra, sing your own praise and thank you for the teachings of yoga we get to share. Bring the hands to your forehead. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Jai Maa, Namaste. Thank you guys so